Hi there, students. All in a day's work. Okay, if you say something is all in a day's work, you say this is part of your job. This is what you do. There's no need to thank me. It's all in a day's work. This is what I do. So for a policeman dealing with drunks and criminals and drug addicts is all in a day's work. Solving crime is all in a day's work for a police detective. This is what they do. This is part of their job, and it may seem strange or difficult or unpleasant, but this is a usual part of your job. So, cutting people open and taking parts out of them or rearranging their insides is all in a day's work for a doctor. Maybe cleaning up vomit is all in a day's work for a nurse. This is something that is expected. It's something that's normal. It's a normal, ordinary task. We use this humorously to minimize one part of your job that's not particularly good or is particularly good. Solving technological problems is the IT all in a day's work for a member of the IT department. Unblocking toilets is all in a day's work for a plumber. If you're a mother or a father, you have small kids, well, dealing with screaming kids is all in a day's work. Normally, this is a phrase that somebody comments about something. I'm sorry you've got to clean up that vomit. It's all in a day's work. This is what you do. It's part of typical. It's what's typical. It's what is normal. Okay, so making beds and cleaning rooms is all in a chambermaid's all in a day's work. This is what is expected. For the head of department, working overtime or working extra hours is all in a day's work. If you're a war reporter, you can spend your life dodging bullets and escaping from explosions, and that's all in a day's work. If you're a politician, answering difficult questions from journalists is all in a day's work. So all in a day's work. This is something that you expect. This is something that comes normally for you. Yeah, it's you're almost dismissing something as insignificant. You thank the plumber for unblocking your toilet, and he says it's all in a day's work. This is what I do. Yeah, it might be something strange for other people, but this is the task that you do. This is part of the task you do. So you don't mind doing it, even though it's difficult, strange. This is your job. This is your way of life, and that's the idea of all in a day's work. Yes, I get cutting hair, styling people's hair is all in a day's work. If you're a hairdresser, thank you for the haircut. It's all in a day's work. You don't mind doing it, even though it might be difficult or it might be dangerous, because that's what they do. Yeah, he waved my thanks aside and said, it's all in a day's work. It's expected. It's the normal routine. It's an expected task. This is habitual. Trying to avoid or being bitten by a dog is all in a day's work for a vet. Okay, if you work in a hotel, angry complaints from guests are all in a day's work. Okay, this is what you do. This is part of your normal routine. Formality. This is all in a day's work. I think I'm going to give this 4, maybe 4.5 in formality. This is something I would use speaking, particularly informally. I think a semi-formal speaking as well. I suppose you could use it in something semi-formal written. So, answering difficult linguistic questions is all in a day's work for an English teacher. Yeah, use it semi-formally as well. So, enough. All in a day's work.